507 kilometers away from Imola, 1600 kilometers away from our second hosted race in Catalonia. I welcome you all to the Red Bull Ring here in Austria for the third round in the NXTGP Porsche Supercup here at NXTGP. I'm your lead commentator today, Dames Zutphen. Behind the screens, as always, is a beautiful broadcaster, Dennis Wieringa. And today we are going to look to our third round of the championship again of this Porsche Cup season. 4.28 kilometers is the well-known Red Bull Ring, of course, in Austria, Styria, and it's going well. It's promising to be a very chaotic race, very entertaining race, because well, we all know the beloved Austria circuit. Lots of straight, lots of slipstream, lots of overtaking opportunities, and we go right into qualifying in a moment. I think yes, we do go into qualifying right now as everybody heads out. It's an exciting battle in the championship here. There's a tie for the lead with 150 points. Yes, Alex O'Grady leads the championship with 115 points. And there's a tie for the top two, P2 and P3, not the leader. Both Takens and Cassidy are right on his heels, tied at 110 points in P2 and P3, which means just 5 points separate the top three in this amazing championship. It's going to be exciting because the pressure is on. It's almost too much for the kettle to handle, but we still have a few races left here in the NXT GP Championship. And again, we are in the third round so far, and let's see who will come out on top. But first, again, we have qualifying, and it's going to be exciting because in qualifying at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, slipstream is key. Yes, you of course have some driver advantage, but Austria is a pretty easy track. We've definitely visited some more difficult tracks like Imola. Imola's a pretty difficult track, especially in this Porsche Supercup. Catalonia is also not the easiest track sometimes, but the Porsche Cup, or well, the Austria circuit in the Porsche Cup is definitely one of the easier tracks on the calendar. But we're going to find out who does best and who doesn't. At this moment we look at the Dynaco livery, beautiful livery as well. We should host a livery competition. I think I've said this before, we should absolutely host a livery competition. I welcome you all in the YouTube chat. Have a chat here. The YouTube stream is popped out as well on my window. So let's see whatever happens in the race and in qualifying. 2 minutes on the board currently, everyone getting their first lap times in. Some people are still in pit lane, some people are out lap. Oh, there's Sylvain Vasten out, going very wide there in turn 2. What is technically turn 3, because there's a little kink on the straight towards turn 2. But we don't really count that as a corner, but it's technically turn 3. Always lovely. Those, we have those at Alton Park as well. I commentated yesterday at Alton Park, and I kept screwing up because, well, I think the last turn wasn't actually the last turn. It's a little flat out kink, and yes, we have those on the Red Bull Ring as well. This is your championship leader, Alex O'Grady, touching the gravel, which probably will be an off track. And if it's an off track, your lap doesn't count anymore. But Alex O'Grady is going purple, although again I doubt he will set a valid lap time, but we'll see through the last couple of corners. Alex O'Grady, our championship leader, goes, and that's definitely an off track for our championship leader again, but he will get another lap in for sure. Agus and the Spaniard currently with a 1:33.287 on pole position. Christian van der Berg beats that time with less than a tenth to spare. And Ryan Cassidy, I want to say second and therefore only second Englishman. I don't think there are more Englishmen, UK men than 2 in this competition. Ewout van Kruijsen in P1. 33.190 to his name as qualifying is heating up. Track temperature is heating up. We have a race replay here. This is the 918 Porsche making contact, possibly, didn't quite see, going wide either way, and needing to get another lap time in. That's Yuri Verzwijveren. I'm getting his name correct this time. And Yuri Verzwijveren, the best AM driver so far, leading the AM Championship, and definitely a contender for, well, the overall positions, let's say maybe P20 overall in the championship, maybe a bit higher, but he's leading the AM Championship nonetheless. Alex O'Grady, championship leader. Does he get a valid lap time this time, coming through the last couple of corners? And that is for the number 5, will be a valid lap time across the line. It will be a 1:33. No, it will be a 1:51.4 delta time. Fooled me there, and that is pole position so far by a mile. Everyone can miss one round if I'm correct. I'm not sure how many participants we have in this round. Might be a little less than last week, but everyone has one discard round, so that could be why. Of course, there is a lot of chaos in Austria, so maybe some of the pro drivers want to sit this one out, but we'll see. This is Mitchell Costas in the 77 Porsche, going wide again. Everyone abusing these track limits. The Porsche isn't easy. It's all about retaining your momentum here in this Porsche Supercup. I've done it before on iRacing. It is not an easy car to master. Definitely not. Levi van Straten 9/10 behind, which is currently P2. We still have 15 minutes left, a little bit less, so everyone can still improve. Alex O'Grady still with a dominant lap time so far. Getting a good lap time on the board early in your session is key here in Austria. Is Jamie Takula, will he get a good lap in? Coming across the line, it's not it is a valid lap, so that's a 1:34.3 for Jamie Takula so far. It's quite cloudy here at Austria, however, no rain is expected. And there you see the weather forecast as well. It's overcast, 32 degrees track temperature so far, 95% chance of rain. It does say so. So I just did say no chance of rain, but we definitely do have a chance of rain. If it will hit, that is the question mark. It's not 100%, so 95%. So we'll see. A lot needs to happen probably for rain to hit. This is Yuri Verzwijveren with 1.3 seconds to lead. A very good lap time so far for your AM leader in the championship. And this is Mr. Costas in 77 again. Can he put a valid lap time on the board? No, he cannot, but he does have the slipstream of his teammate in front, and this is crucial. Slipstream is crucial. Levi van Straten improved with a 1:52.168, which means he's only 6/10 behind the leader. He is getting there. He is definitely getting there. Let's see if he can also beat the provisional pole position time of Alex O'Grady. This is Jamie Takula, currently last on the timing boards. Can he change that? Jamie Takula with 2 personal best sector, 1 yellow sector, does improve his time. Not enough to climb a position though. Let's see who is improving then. It's Alex O'Grady still on pole position. Is this going to be a valid lap time from your provisional pole position sitter yet? It is. He did that lap. It does indeed count. I thought it was an off track at the last corner, but he puts in a 1:51.4 to further strengthen his pole position, and he does it greatly so far. It was Van Kruijsen spinning in the last corner, going off in the last corner, stationary, and so he hits the reset button and out he goes again with 11 minutes in a bit. Carlos Manzanaro, the Spaniard, who drove his home race last time, currently in P8. Can he improve on his lap time? 1.7 it was 1.6 seconds to the leader. It is now 1:33.0. These are the both teammates. Going out of the way there is the 979 Porsche. That is Eduard Krop, who just gave his teammate a very good slipstream where he can benefit from, and now maybe his teammate can return the favor. Who knows? Alex O'Grady with a purple first sector. What do you know? Surprise, Alex O'Grady puts purple sector in. And currently this is Ewald van Kruijsen. This is Alex O'Grady. Yes, he did put a purple sector in, but a yellow sector 2. Can he get an improvement nonetheless? That's very wide for Alex O'Grady, and he doesn't go over the line. This is the Spaniard Agus, and then can he improve? Yes, he can. Very close to the time of Levi van Straten, 8/10 of a second to pole position. Alex O'Grady being dominant once again. We have around, if I'm not correct, 20 drivers here today. This is Lucas Stieflager. One name we miss is Roy Castine. I'm sure we missed some more names. But again, that's a car off track. That's the 26 Porsche. That will be the Christian. That's Christian in the 26 Porsche. Not sure what happened there. Christian van den Berg. Van Veldhoven, Lucas Stieflager. This is actually Lucas Stieflager in the gold-plated 38 Porsche. Of course, if you're new to this championship, everyone driving with the same spec series of cars. I'm not sure if this is a fixed race as well. I think it is. Maybe my beautiful broadcaster can answer that later. But Lucas Stieflager nonetheless driving his lap time, still needing to put a valid lap time on the board. Stieflager is competitive in this championship. Can he put it anywhere near pole position? He surely hopes to do so. Currently doesn't seem to be a threat. Currently doesn't seem to put any really dangerous sectors so far. Of course, some green sectors, but it's because he doesn't have set it. He hasn't set a time yet. Stieflager coming across the line together with Marco Kerkman. Marco Kerkman in the 33 Porsche. Does he set a valid lap time on the board? He does! Wow, Marco Kerkman going to P2. Very unexpected. Probably benefited from the slipstream of Lucas Stieflager. Marco Kerkman, the pro driver in the 33 Porsche, 6/10 of a second to Alex Grady with that slipstream. Very good lap there. Great lap by Kerkman. Bram Veldhoen, and it is P14 for him so far. And let's see who will improve furthermore. Then we have 8 minutes to go in this 20-minute long qualifying session, and it seems a relatively, for a qualifying session, pretty well. Quiet isn't the correct word. It's definitely not quiet, but it's less busy than usual because we have a few less drivers than usual as well. And Melvin de Mulder currently in the M category, the 934 Porsche. Oh, and that is Marco Kerkman, who just had a phenomenal lap time. And he's currently driving in P2, currently getting in the way of Levi van Straten, carrying a bit of gravel on his wheels as well. Yeah, just spinning off in the gravel. That rear-engined Porsche Supercup car isn't the most stable car, we know. And Marco Kerkman proving my point exactly, spinning off there in, I think that is turn 4 or 5. Lucas Stieflager improves, getting below the 1 second marker compared to the leader. This is Cas Heijnen. Cas Heijnen P13. Levi van Straten improves, gets P2 back from Marco Kerkman and heads to the pit immediately. And this is Cas Heijnen. He's currently in the unlucky 13th spot, but he gets demoted to P14 because Bram Veldhoen improves his time. P8 so far, 1.2 seconds off the lead in his 905 Porsche. Is he running the Rex livery? Yes, he is running the legendary Rex livery. Oh, this is Jamie Tegula finding, well, a part of the grass, spinning out, losing control of his car, and back to the pits. It is Ryan Cassidy with a much better lap time than before, 1.112 seconds, which is 1/1000th of a second faster, if I'm correct. Roel van der Zand in P17, 1.113 seconds. The difference is not very large. Alex O'Grady with a purple second sector. Let's see if he can improve on his already staggering fast lap time. Will it be an off track? I'm not so sure. I should have driven this track before to find out what the track limits are. Another purple sector. Is it an improvement for Alex O'Grady? Yes, it is. 2/10 he improved, 131.1. Can he get below that 131 barrier? Can he get in the 130s? It would be quite spectacular to do so. This is Marco Kerkman. Can Marco Kerkman improve? Not so far. And everyone really on his outlap with 5 minutes to go in this calling session. This is Aegis NM, currently P9 in the championship for him. Sitting in P4. This is the 32 car, nearly hit 12 car, actually nearly hitting Lucas Stiefelaar. At least it looked like he almost did. Losing control in turn 1. Not very optimal, of course. Out of the Niki Lauda curve. Very tricky turn 1, must be said. You have the high curb at the apex of the corner and then another high yellow curb at the exit. It's easy to lose control in this Porsche, and one of these drivers, especially Aegis, demonstrating that point. Not taking any honor away from the Spaniard though. It is a difficult car, it must be said. 4 minutes to go. I think Alex O'Grady, he doesn't start last, because last time in Catalonia he started last and he climbed all the way back to 3rd position in the first race. Jure Verzwijveren, currently in P8, 1.3 seconds off the lead. Fastest M driver, Bram Veldhoen. He's currently in P10 with 2/10 to Jure Verzwijveren in his 905. Maybe he can take the AM pole position. So we have the pro class and the amateur class, although we can't take any honor away from the amateur class. They can be rapid, especially in the race. Jure Verzwijveren was very fast in the race at Catalonia. See if he can do the same here at Austria. Aegis NM not improving so far. Doesn't improve, I think. He's just 1 second of the lead. Van der Zanden in P7. Can he improve? He had a better sector 2. And sector 2 and sector 3 are really the sectors where you want to improve. And this is the leader of the M Championship, Verzwijveren, currently in the 918 Porsche, losing control out of route there. Very difficult corner, especially with the rear end getting so loose. We've seen it multiple times in qualifying. Not an easy corner to get confident around. And this is Marco Kerkman improving, so he shoots the P2, improves his lap time, 1:31.8. Alex O'Grady is on track yet again. See if he can get below the 30.9 or 31.0. And that is Melvin de Mulder, the only Porsche who hasn't set a valid lap time yet. And there goes Ryan Cassidy, the Englishman, if I'm not mistaken, currently sitting in P5. Can he improve Ryan Cassidy to the personal best sectors for him? 1 yellow sector, but can he improve? Can he get below that 1 second barrier to the leader? Doesn't seem so. So he has to try again. He probably has exactly one more lap in it. If the timer hits 20 or 0-0 for these drivers, then everyone gets reset to pits. It's not like in Assetto Corsa Competizione that when the timer clicks or clocks at 0, you can have one more lap. No, 20 minutes in iRacing is 20 minutes. Levi van Straten, he has to improve now, otherwise it is too late and it will be no improvement for Levi van Straten. He can put no more threat to the pole position and to the second pole position as well. This is Alex O'Grady, just for the show. Can he improve, or is he just finishing his last lap time? He must. The delta must show that maybe, oh, that's not like this surely is an off track, and it is Alex O'Grady weaving across the track. And there was a 152.5 perhaps, and spinning off the track, being happy with his pole position. The real life Formula driver as well, must be said, Alex O'Grady, not only winning virtual but perhaps winning in real life as well. I mean, if you ask me, you're a winner if you drive in real life. Anyway, Stiefelager, can he improve? Ryan Cassidy, can he improve with a faster second sector? No, personal best sector. And Lucas Stiefelager doesn't improve, and that is qualifying done, ladies and gentlemen. Melvin de Muller just got a lap time on the board, although it's 4.4 seconds off the leader, and that is your qualifying session done here today for the third round in this NXTGP Porsche Supercup. 95% chance of rain, and this is your starting grid for today. Alex O'Grady in P1, followed by Marco Kirkman. Good qualifying for the Dutchman. Levi van Straten in P3. Spaniard Agus NM can be satisfied with his quali session. P4 it is Ryan Cassidy, the Irishman. Both Irishmen. Stiefelager in P6 again. Ryan Cassidy in P5. Roel van der Zand in P7, followed by your Ampol sitter Juri Verzwijveren in P8, Ewart van Kruiswijk in P9, followed by Veltun, followed by Manzanaro, followed by Kool, 1.6 seconds off the lead. In P12 then it is Kostas in P14 at the unlucky spot. Berg, the Canadian, in P14, Vastenhout in P15, the M driver, Grop in P16, followed by Niels Koger, followed by Cas Heijnen, followed by Jamie Ter Koele, followed by Mulder, who rounds off the grid in P20. 20 drivers then here on the grid for both race 1 and race 2. Hopefully we are going to go through with the start. When will the lights go out? It's difficult starting in this Porsche. If you have a clutch, not everyone has a clutch, because not everyone has the same sim rig setup. I myself, wow, lovely voice crack. I myself have a clutch, but I don't use it because I never had the benefit of using it. However, if you have a standing start in this Porsche Supercup, it's amazing. You can gain such an advantage with using the clutch. But we see the 6 red lights on your screen. When will they go out? Will Alex O'Grady have a good start compared to Marco Kerkman, compared to Levi van Straten? And the lights are out now. Look at Lucas Stiefelager, who has a good start. And we have drama already on the first lap. Lucas van Stiefelager touching the barriers there, making contact with a driver who's that in the background, spinning off into, and what, does he hit anyone? Just about not. That's Niels Koger, the Swiss driver, close to his homeland. Marco Kerkman currently in P2, chasing down Alex O'Grady in that slipstream. No, that's not Alex O'Grady. Actually, Marco Kerkman lost some few positions. Or is that Levi van Straten? It is indeed Levi van Straten. Alex O'Grady with a blistering start. And look at that. Roel van der Zand has had a great start so far, currently in P4. Levi van Straten currently in P3, trying to chase down Marco Kerkman, but he needs to go on the defensive. Actually, he doesn't take the defensive line. Ryan Cassidy, the Irishman, needing to look in his rear view mirrors because we almost go 3 wide into Rauch. Do we go 3 wide into Rauch? Yes, we do. That's contact between Ryan Cassidy as he spins around together with the Spaniard Aegis and then the number 12 Porsche. Chaos here at the start. At the Red Bull Ring, there's more contact. There's a car off at Rauch as well. A very difficult corner. Rauch is, we see it in front of our eyes at this start. Eduard Grop not having the most fantastic start of, well, the season. It was Van Kruijsen currently in P6 trying to chase down Juri Versweijer with a great start, must be said. Juri Versweijer capitalizing on all the chaos in front of him. Amateur driver, not so amateur now because he's in between the pro driver, currently driving top 5 overall. This is Ryan Cassidy pushing Cas Heine, going to overtake him. No, he's waiting for a better opportunity, exiting the Niki Lauda curve. Ryan Cassidy, the Irishman, fell down back to the grid, or back down the grid like we just saw, going into Rauch as they went 3 wide. This is Juri Versweijer needing to go on the defensive. He doesn't go defensive, getting overtaken by 2 cars, not 1, 2. Ewald van Kruijsen benefits, Christian van der Berg benefits, and Juri Versweijer falling down the all. Can he gain 1 position around the outside of Slotchgold? Around the outside there, pretty difficult. We saw Lewis Hamilton and Alex Albon going side by side. And we all know how that happened, but Juri Versweijer maybe down the inside is going to be a ballsy move. Down the inside he does make it sick. He has still 1 car on the outside, needs to give him space, does so beautifully, and this is a beautiful fight, very respectful. But there's a car closing in, Christian van der Berg, that is, I think, in the blue Porsche, light blue Porsche, or is it Michael Kool? I think it is indeed Michael Kool. And still going side by side, these 2 drivers. And can Juri Versweijer then hang on or get a better exit out of the last corner? And there's another car trying to get involved, and we have Carlos Manzanaro, the pink Porsche, getting cut off there by Christian van der Berg and Michael Kool, actually. Michael Kool on the inside of Juri Versweijer. Manzanaro wants to follow. Juri Versweijer wants to fight back. Versweijer currently in P7 overall, and this is helping Christian van der Berg, who can, well, shoot out of the slipstream. Lucas Stiefelaar, who has had a collision at the start, now on the outside of Manzanaro, and this is getting all so tight here on the second corner here in Austria, and it's all kicking off here still. I told you at the start of this session it's going to be chaotic, and chaotic it is so far. Replay then of that start. This is Niels Korgen needing to, just getting hit there by another car. Nothing he could really do. That's, I think, the 979 spinning out as well. The yellow and, well, navy blue, dark blue car there. I'm not sure who that was. This is Melvin de Meuler, who had a bad start, but sort of benefited from it all. If he keeps his car on track, it doesn't so. Just goes straight through, locking up his front wheels actually. Don't really know what happened there. Perhaps got scared by a few cars going off in front of him. Jamie Tekula losing pole position there. Then Vos Rijblack Racing touching Sylvain Vastenhout as well in the Dynaco livery. Jamie Tekula not making his life any easier for not himself nor his competitors. Sylvain Vastenhout now currently in P10 trying to overtake the Spaniard in front of him. But look, that's Mitchell Costas with a beautiful switchback. Has to run on the exit, has to run on Manzanaro as well as he tucks in his slipstream. And so does Sylvain Vastenhout. Can we go 3 wide into the second corner here at the Red Bull Ring? No, we don't. Manzanaro taking the defensive line and trying to fend off Mitchell Costas, and he does so far. That's Aegis and M behind as well. P13, Cas Heine in P12, trailing Sylvain Vastenhout then. Alex O'Grady, meanwhile, 4.8 seconds ahead of the lead. Juri Versweijer closing that gap between Lucas Stiefelhagen. From Lucas Stiefelhagen, Versweijer had a little bit of contact with Stiefelhagen, but they survive nonetheless. You can see on the front end of Lucas Stiefelager that is not so streamlined, because he had a collision earlier on, didn't pit. If you pit here at Austria in this first 25-minute race, because if you're new here, we have two 25-minute races here all season long. Jürgen Zweier having Lucas Stiefelager all in his rear view mirrors, left, right and center. Stiefelager trying to intimidate Zweier there. The M driver, the only M driver in the top 10, and I need to correct myself there, because Sylvain Wastenhout also in the top 10. Bram Veldhoen has had a terrible start. He had a good qualifying, but a terrible start compared to his rival M drivers. Carlos Manzanaro, the pro driver in P9. Lucas Stiefelager pushing Verzwijveren in the 38 Porsche. Verzwijveren taking the defensive line, outbraking himself. Maybe, is that a question mark? No, it doesn't. Makes the apex 3 wide into the second corner. Sylvain Vastenhout is directly in the middle. And does he lose position? Yes, he does. Aegis NM, Mitchell Kostis, these 10 for this fight. As Aegis NM, I think, is already that's Aegis NM in front. It is indeed Sylvain Wastenhout anyway, trailing them back down the field. Because Heine overtaking him. If Sylvain Wastenhout doesn't still creep up in Rauch on the inside, he goes through it. Because Heine leaves him pretty... yes, he does leave him enough room. Pretty much room there to play with for Sylvain Wastenhout, and Aegis NM in front of that. It's pretty hard to keep, to sometimes see which guy is which, because if I'm not mistaken, Aegis NM and Carlos Manzanaro, both Spaniards, run the same livery, so a bit of confusion on my end there, but Alex O'Grady, not really a surprise, leading this race in front of Marco Kerkman, but Roel van der Zand might want to say something about that second place, and so does Levi van Straten. And Roel van der Zand in his front view, doesn't attack Marco Kerkman. Perhaps these three drivers want to work together, perhaps want to chase down the lead of Alex O'Grady. One mistake and the lead could trial down to maybe second to one, maybe loses the lead if you make a mistake. Alex O'Grady rarely makes a mistake. But we have to see. This is the fight for P13 and P12. The Spaniards battling the Dutchman, the number 11 Porsche and the number 12 Porsche. This is the Spaniard for Estutel Esports Academy. In the number 12, does he outbrake himself? Yes, he does. Nearly hitting the car in front of him and nearly hitting the car behind him. But all survived so far. He will have, his tires will be a bit hotter than usual. You have to really manage that Porsche in some corners of the track. I drove a lot of Spa in this Porsche Supercup, and it could be quite sketchy, especially on the fixed setup, which we are running today here as well. I think, if I'm correct, Roel van der Zand currently in P3. Trying to chase down again those podium spots. Can he get in a better podium spot? And perhaps he doesn't want to be in front of Marco Kerkman, because the slipstream is so strong around here. You really rather want to make a move at the end of the race, and having the move sealed and done. How come Alex? Oh, we have a battle for the lead. With my eyes to the live delta, we have a change for the leading podium spots, not the actual lead. Roel van der Zand defending now from Marco Kerkman. This is benefiting Levi van Straten, who just had a little bit of a gap between these two drivers. Just 6 tenths behind, not enough to attack, but it might be enough to attack now. Roel van der Zand currently in P2, Marco Kerkman in P3, and they're battling it out for these positions. Perhaps they have already given up on the lead. It is currently in the lead by Alex O'Grady, currently taken by Alex O'Grady in the number 5 Porsche. How come Alex O'Grady is driving this series? Well, you probably have to ask him, ask it himself. We of course have beautiful prizes here, money prizes, real money prizes, and more prizes at NXTGP. I will call them out in a bit, but of course, nothing beats real prizes in a virtual championship. And Marco Kerkman trying to get the most of his points to, you know, win more prizes, win better prizes in his championship. Let's see where he is then in the championship, Marco Kerkman. Kerkman currently in the, not in the top of the championship, actually probably somewhere in the middle. Or is this his first race? No, P10. I was searching for it. In P10, Marco Kerkman is, and he will benefit from this race hugely probably. And not only Marco Kerkman, Roel van der Zand and Levi van Straten. Van Straten finding himself in P4. Currently the best one of these P2, P3, P4 spots. Alex O'Grady, of course, leading the championship. Takens and Cassidy both not in this race. Krolikowski not in this race. Castien not in this race. We miss Gian Zuterwelle. We miss Eddie Kalis. Do we miss Eddie Kalis? I think we do. So a lot of non-entries here today in our usual championship. We do have both Spaniards of Manzanaro and Aegis NM. We miss Van der Drift, and that's Melvin de Mulder. And now he's last. I was going to say not last in this race, but now he is. Just got overtaken by Jamie Tkula. Melvin de Mulder currently in P20. Schrijver in P17 then, the leading amateur driver. Heinen is in this race, I think. Yes, Cas Heinen indeed. And this is a battle for P2. Marco Kerkman is really coin tossing, as we say in, or coin trading really, as we say in the Netherlands. Coin trading between these two guys, Marco Kerkman and Roel van der Zand. Levi van Straten just hanging back, grabbing his popcorn, hoping something goes wrong between these drivers, because there's no real point in fighting. There are still more than 10 minutes left in this race, and if you're Levi van Straten, you can just hang back currently as, well, the third watcher. We have some beautiful sayings in Dutch. I will not translate, otherwise I will sound a little bit like Louis van Gaal. And I'm trying to avoid that. Marco Kerkman, Roel van der Zand, Levi van Straten again, still bringing the entertainment to the table in this first race here in the Porsche Supercup. In the third round here. We also miss Gebuis, Ifra, so we miss a lot of drivers. Perhaps they will reappear in the next rounds of this NXTGP Porsche Cup on iRacing. Mustn't forget we are driving on iRacing, like you can see at the bottom right of your screen. We enter lap 10. Not sure why it says we have 50 laps. Maybe we have 50 laps in total. I doubt it, because then we'd need to drive 25 laps. Oh, and there goes not only Bram Veldhoven, but also Elliot Krop. Have these two guys getting into a collision then? I'm not sure. Maybe we'll get a replay. We do get a replay. This is Eduard Krop, and that's Direxie losing. Oh, and it's Netcode. That must be Netcode. There wasn't actually a physical touch between those Porsches, but sadly Netcode comes into play. As I just talked about iRacing, yes, Netcode is something iRacing related, sadly. And Niels Korge then going through, now losing the car. This is a replay actually. Losing the car, the Swiss driver so close to home, yet so far away to a good race result. There's a beautiful slow-mo. Niels Korge just, I think, losing it on the exit of the Niki Lauda curb. Perhaps taking a bit too much curb, does he? Or losing it on the rear, on that big yellow curbstone, very long curbstone. Just sliding a bit with the rear car, becoming unstable at throttle input. And there you have it. That demonstrates the difficulty of the Porsche perfectly, because the Porsche is pretty difficult to drive. Look, we have a great battle here for the top 10 spots, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Sylvain Vastenhout is leading this big group. You can see the blue bright Dynaco livery, which is really also livery contention. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We do have slowdowns, I think, implemented. Oh, that's Akers, and I'm looking a little bit. Carlos Montanaro actually looking for the move on Sylvain Vastenhout. And you can distinguish both Spaniards. Montanaro driving with a bit of a grey livery. The other Spaniard driving with a black one. That's on the outside for, who is that? Ryan Cassidy on the back of this train, and it's Cas Heine with the yellow and black livery. Then Ryan Cassidy, the Irishman, who's fairly confident in the championship, not so confident in this race so far. Let's see what happens between these two guys. Ryan Cassidy on the inside. Does he commit? He does commit indeed. Roel van der Zand is out. Roel van der Zand is out of this race. What has happened? Is it a disconnect problem? Because he was running in podium positions in quite battling, coin tossing with Marco Kerkman and Levi van Straten. Well, what has happened to Roel van der Zand? Oh no, currently just trailing down the field. This is Christian van der Burg, the Canadian driver, in P5, trying to battle Lucas Stiefelhagen. Lucas Stiefelhagen, well, in his redemption arc, you could say. Currently in P5, trying to make his way back up the grid after that horrible start for him. Getting touched on the beginning, the start of the race. Lucas van Hagen getting the preferred line into the Niki Lauda curve. Does have the benefit of the slipstream. Marco Kerkman still in P2. Lucas Rijver, the best M driver so far in P7. And this is Lucas Stiefelhagen trying it around the outside, but he has to commit, and so does Christian van der Burg. He commits as well, deep braking into turn 2. And what's happening in the midfield then? Ryan Cassidy trying to make his way up as well after a bad start. The Irishman currently in P12, again trying to make up for Lucas Stiefelhagen in the rear view mirrors of Christian van der Burg, showing him where he is. I am still there, Christian. And Christian van der Burg knows it in his 26 numbered Porsche. This is Alex O'Grady in P5, running comfortably in P5, and the real racing driver, the Formula driver in real life, putting a fastest lap time of the race on the board, and that's going to be all the better for Alex O'Grady. Lucas Stiefelhagen currently in P6. Will he go for a move on Christian van der Burg? Van der Burg, not, well, he is defending, not letting any chances of that P5 slip away, but the exit is from Lucas Stiefelhagen, the better one. And can he then finally get that P5 position, chase down Ewald van Kruijsen? There's a little bit of damage on his front end. Will that have impact on the downforce? He tried it, Christian van der Burg, needing to leave room. Lucas Stiefelhagen, I must admit there was some moving in the braking zone of maybe both, maybe only van der Burg there. Lucas Stiefelhagen maybe not so happy with the moving on the braking. Is he going to launch it in, what is this, turn 4, turn 3 actually, and this is a replay of that move by Christian van der Burg. Moving on the braking, I'm not so sure, possibly, I can't see the inputs of course. Lucas Stiefelhagen, very beautiful slow-mo, needing to take evasive action there. Perhaps the stewards have something to say about that move. No contact, so they remain alive. Lucas Stiefelhagen again battling in the first round of this championship. Halfway we are after we finish this race. Lap 14, and we have 5 minutes remaining. Lucas Stiefelhagen trying to get that move done, as we've seen so many times now. Oh, contact. Was there contact between Lucas Stiefelhagen and Van der Burg? Van den Berg getting a good entry into T1 and making use of that good entry. Side by side once again towards turn 2 there. More contact between Van den Berg and Stiefelaar. And Stiefelaar being the patient man around here, just not getting the move done, excuse me. And this is Marco Kerkman battling with Levi van Straten. Levi van Straten really being always at the back of Marco Kerkman, trying to do that last, trying to overtake Kerkman at the last possible moment. This is a replay. Ryan Cassidy then finding himself in an incident with one of the Spaniards. A little touch there. I think there is a little touch, maybe some more touch. Oh, there's a big touch actually, and oh no, there's Ryan Cassidy going around again, and that's the black and white, black and yellow livery of Cas Heine who goes around as a result, and that's not favorable for Ryan Cassidy once again. And when will Lucas Stiefelaar then finally make the move for that 5th position? Tries it once again, like we've seen so many times, like he has done so many times. Lucas Stiefelaar choosing the outside. Oh, there's a battle for, I think it is P7 and P8 as well. Yuri Verswijver and Mitchell Kostes. Or is it? I think it is, and yes, that is definitely delivery Yuri Verswijveren. Lucas Stiefelaar trying it, of course hunting the big prizes. And oh, there is that's contact between Stiefelaar and Christian van den Berg, and the stewards will definitely have to say something about that. That didn't look fair at all. From perhaps both drivers, but who will be the judge of that? And that's Christian van den Berg thinking what the hell is going on. I've just got taken out by 2 drivers. The Canadian driver not having the best of endings here in Austria, because the ending is almost near. This is between Lucas Stiefelaar trying to find the gap, moving to the right hand side and hitting the car of van den Berg. Canadian again in the number 26 car, and then Carlos, I think Manzanaro hitting him as well, which promotes Yuri Verswijveren in P6 to P6. Sylvain Wassenaut, maybe a threat for the top M spot as well. Levi van Straten in P3 trying to chase down that P2. Hello, I'm still there, don't worry. This is Mitchell Kostes in P7. Oh, I was just catching a breath, and there we have it, Mitchell Kostes also trying to catch a break. And this is Marco Kerkman in P2. Trying to defend from Levi van Straten. I told you, I predicted it, Levi van Straten. If you can go for the move at the very last moment, you do so, because then the other car doesn't have a chance of attacking you. Levi van Straten on the inside of turn 3. Has he predicted? Has he calculated this to absolute perfection? It seems so. Going into coast now. Very difficult corner. Everybody needs to give each other the space. Levi van Straten on the inside. Marco Kerkman on the perhaps favorable outside there. But Levi van Straten fending off Marco Kerkman. Hitting the gravel. And it's Alex O'Grady who goes away with the win. One more time here. Not for the first time as well. Claims his third win of the season after what is 5 rounds now here at the NXTGP Porsche Supercup season. Mitchell Kostis in P6. Who takes P2 then? It's going to be Levi van Straten. If he doesn't screw up his exit, and it must be Levi van Straten who calculates it to absolute perfection. Marco Kerkman in P3. This is the battle for P5 overall as Juri Versweijden. Oh, what's happening here? Mitchell Kostis, does he have a drive-through? He must have. He must have a drive-through, and I'm telling you what, a drive-through doesn't get served over the line. If he does have one, Sylvain Vastenhout in P10. If you have a drive-through, then you have too many incident points. Sylvain Vastenhout claims that P10 spot as an M driver. 5 points in front of that is Juri Versweijden. This is Sylvain Vastenhout. It's a replay of Vastenhout losing the car. Does he? Yeah, oh, into the barriers he goes as he looks up his wheels, but in any case, he finishes P10, and we can finally all catch a breath, because this race in Austria was something of a race, and these are your Heat 1 race results. Alex O'Grady, the not so surprising winner, wins with 20.2 seconds to spare, followed by Levi van Straten, who calculates it to absolute perfection to claim that P2. Very hard fought by Marco Kerkman. We have Ewout van Kruijsen. Juri Versweijden claims P5 as an M driver, and he will win valuable points. We'll take those points to the second race here at the Red Bull Ring. Stiefelhagen then in P6. Stiefelhagen in P6. Is that right? Something must have happened with Stiefelhagen for sure. I did not catch that. Carlos Montanaro, Spaniard in P7. Well, obviously something happened with Stiefelhagen. The incident between Van den Burg and Stiefelhagen. Berg then in P8. Vastenhout in P9. Kasheinen in P10. Krop in P11. Akers, the Spaniard, in P12. Bram Veldhoen in P14. Followed by the Irishman Ryan Cassidy in P14. Kostas P15. Kool in P16. Jamie de Koele in P17. And Mulder rounds off the field as the 18th driver. Roel van der Zand finishes the order. Gets P19, and Niels Korga finishes the order with 7 laps down with a DNF to both of their names. We're going to be out for a very short time, and we'll be back again as race 2 is about to commence at the third round here, not the second round, third round here at the Porsche Supercup at NXTGP. We'll see you back in a few minutes. Until then. Look. As the first race here at round 3 of the NXTGP Porsche Supercup just finished, we are going to make ourselves ready for race 2 and perhaps another chaotic race 2 here at the Red Bull Ring in round 3. I say another race 2, I mean the one and only race 2 we will drive here. 2 races of 25 minutes, and there is a 49% chance of rain, but we haven't seen any rain yet, so I doubt we will have any rain. No reverse grid here today at the Red Bull Ring. Alex O'Grady starts on pole position, followed by Straten, Marco Kerkman in P3. It's Ewout van Kruijsen in P4, followed by Verzwijveren, your best AM driver of the day and your championship leader in AM as well. Lucas Stiefelaar in P6. It is Carlos Manzanato, then followed in P7, followed by Berg, followed by Vastenhout, because Heinen finds himself in the top 10, in the last top 10 spot rounds of the top 10. Grop in P11, Agus and M in P12, number 12, ironically. And we will move on to unlucky number 13, Bram Veldhoen, followed by Ryan Cassidy in P14, followed by Kostis in P15, Krul in P16, Jamie de Koele in P17, Mulder in P18. Roel van der Zand has to make up some ground, and we already start here at the Red Bull Ring. Alex O'Grady from pole position, Van Straten in P2, Marco Kerkman in P3, and who will have the best start? Will we see some incidents? A lot of more careful driving here at the Red Bull Ring as Eduard Grop goes off the track. Some drivers find themselves wide, find themselves side by side. Do we see some 3 wide heading into turn 2 there? Not yet, but a lot of side-by-side racing. It's Christian van den Berg trying to send down and one the inside of Lucas Stiefelaar, trying to get revenge of the race 1 results. Not happy with that second or that first race result and trying to improve on the second race here. Lucas Stiefelaar still in P2, and there goes Van den Berg on the inside. Dive from that, there goes someone off the track. That's Van Kruijsen finding himself on the gravel into Sourcegold there. That's another, that's more Ewout van Kruijsen absolutely finding the barrier there. Completely missed what happened there. Perhaps a replay could be showed. Then Christian van den Berg getting pushed wide there by Yuri Verzwijveren. Has had an amazing start van den Berg as his rival Stiefelaar falls down the grid. Verzwijveren still in P5, trying to hold on to that P4, but there goes Carlos Manzanato and Sylvain Vastenhout on the inside of Verzwijveren, on the inside of Van den Berg. That's a very deep lunge, but it works for the Dynaco livery Porsche. And can he then complete the move on the inside? He can, and that's Yuri Verzwijveren going through with the pedal exit on the inside. Beautiful racing here at the Porsche Supercup, and Bram Veldhoen in P20. Currently last, we see some almost 3 wide racing into turn 1. There, this is Ryan Cassidy trying to get redemption for that first race, as well as Lucas Stiefelaar, who has a whole train of Porsches behind it. Jamie de Koele in P19. Just avoiding a car. That's 3 wide into turn 2 there. Sylvain Vastenhout, Van den Berg, Verzwijveren trying to get the better exit of Vastenhout. Looks to the inside, goes to the outside of the next corner. Van den Berg then, the Canadian driver, very aggressive on the start, but it works out respectfully. And then Verzwijveren, can he complete the move around the outside of Slosgold? Can he improve a position? Can he stick to it? Yes, he does. That's Roel van der Zand in the gravel, needing to get a safe rejoin, and he does, but there's a position lose for Roel van der Zand. Lots of position lost there for the Dutch driver. Yuri Verzwijveren then in P5, reclaiming P5 Verzwijveren in the 918 Porsche, and so he tries to chase down Van den Berg. As Lucas Stiefelaar in the gold-plated Porsche there, very noticeable, trying to fend off Ryan Cassidy, the Irishman, and he does so as well. So far, Ryan Cassidy is still there, however. See if he can maybe battle. Maybe he can work together with Stiefelaar to get the best out of this second race here at the Red Bull Ring. Of course, hosted not only the Austria Grand Prix, but also the Styria GP in 2021, if I recall, because of COVID measures. And Lucas Stiefelaar then still in P6. And that's Sylvain Vast now to the inside of the leader Verzwijveren. Lucas Stiefelaar, can he go through? Can he get a good exit out of turn 2, out of Remus? It does seem so, but not enough so far. It's a decent exit. Does he throw one to the inside of Yuri Verzwijveren? No, he doesn't. He is patient on the back of Verzwijveren now. Ryan Cassidy also on the back of Lucas Stiefelaar. Will he be a threat to the Dutchman? Yuri Verzwijveren shooting down the inside. At least trying to get a position there. Yuri Verzwijveren finding himself more and more comfortable between the pro drivers. As the only M driver, that's not true, Sylvain Vastenhout is leading the M competition so far. I always forget Vastenhout is an M driver, but he is. Lucas Stiefelaar wanting to do it around the outside, losing momentum perhaps, and that is key in this Porsche. Ryan Cassidy trying to make some benefit of Stiefelaar going to the outside. A little bit of a wiggle outside of Red Bull Mobile, but he makes it stick. And look, that's Christian van den Berg fending off Sylvain Vastenhout, losing time together. Presumably Yuri Verzwijveren can compromise, maybe get a better exit out of the first turn here. And he gets a slipstream, gets a better exit as well, but needs to do it around the outside. Lucas Stiefelaar maybe has a look to the inside. What will happen here into turn 2, out of the exit outside turn 2? Are we going to go 3 wide? No, we are not. Lucas Stiefelaar again in the golden livery, trying to do his best to chase down after Van den Berg. And currently it's Sylvain Vastenhout who tries to overtake Yuri Verzwijveren. Battle for the amateur drivers, but also for the overall positions here. Pro battling with the AMs, not something you see on a daily basis, but it's happening here on Austria nonetheless. As Lucas Stiefelaar currently in P6. The number 38 Porsche. Oh, that's one car going slowly. That's Marco Kerkman going slowly. That's Van den Berg off, losing his Porsche, losing traction on the Porsche, but he remains on track so far. And it's all kicking off here in the Porsche Supercup. That's the car on the grass. Who is that? That's Michael Kool. How has that happened? No idea. Michael Kool falling down the order and DNFing. Probably in pit lane. Is that Ryan Cassidy? No, that is Sylvain Vastenhout who has fallen back. Marco Kerkman also fallen back. No idea how that has happened. Both Spaniards behind Sylvain Vastenhout. This is a replay of Marco Kerkman. Has he simply lost it on his own? He must have. Loses it and can't save it. And in to turn his Porsche around as quickly as possible, and that's a mistake on his own merit by Marco Kerkman. Won't be too happy with that. Ruud Krop trying to get a better race result as last time. It was Van Kruijsen just in front of that was Costa there. Christian van den Berg. What has happened here with Van den Berg? I wanted to say losing it again, narrowly avoiding a Porsche, putting his own Porsche. Sylvain Vastenhout, what has happened here in the gravel there? That must be Slosgold, as the camera angle tells me that is indeed Slosgold. What has happened to Sylvain Vastenhout? A very chaotic race, a very busy race tour here at the Red Bull Ring. It was Van Kruijsen trying to promote himself to P8 as he's behind Cas Heijnen. That's not Cas Heijnen. Is it Cas Heijnen? Let me have a look if they come past for the race numbers. Actually, this is Cas Heijnen. See, I was a bit confused. Ewald van Kruijsen is the car in front, and behind that it's Mitchell Kostis. So that's me fooling myself. Mitchell Kostis in P10 trying to chase down the car in front of him. Marco Kerkman with a drive-through? Question mark? What is happening to Marco Kerkman? Has lost the car. Oh, this is Yuri Verzwijveren losing it as well. What is happening here in the Porsche Supercup here in race 2? but losing it left, right and center, making a mistake. Yet this Porsche Supercup is prone to mistake, as it's showing here. I said earlier in the stream, Austria is quite an easy track. Maybe it's the commentator's curse. I shouldn't have said it, because apparently Austria in the Porsche Supercup is not an easy track to drive for a lot of drivers. This is Seizoen trying to send one down the inside of Mitchell Kostis in the 77 Porsche. His teammate right behind him, Eduard Kropp, the Swiss driver. Mitchell Kostis getting the benefit of the traction, of the better traction there. And Mitchell Kostis on the outside, bit of a wiggle there on the rear of that Porsche. Not exactly stable, the Porsche of Kostis, but he remains in P10 from Welkom in the Rexy livery. Always nice to see the Rexy livery, Roel van der Zand. The lowest pro driver currently driving around, I want to say lowest pro driver, but Michael Kerkman is a lap down, just a lap down. Alex O'Grady 5.3 seconds is his lead to Levi van Straten. And Levi van Straten having it relatively easy. Stiefelager then in P3, Ryan Cassidy in P4. Van den Berg obviously with that spin falling down the order still? Question mark? Yeah, because he's DNF'd. I completely forgot. Ryan Cassidy in P3 and trying now in P2, trying to chase down Alex O'Grady, but he first needed to get by Levi van Straten. No, Lucas Stiefelager actually. I'm all over this place because there's so much happening in this Porsche Supercup. It's truly amazing. I can't almost see which car is which, if the timing board is correct, but this is for P3, P4. This is the battle for P7 and P6. Carlos Manzanaro and Cas Heijnen. Oh, 3 wide going into Rauch there. And Carlos Manzanaro very aggressive to overtake Cas Heijnen, but does he make the move stick? No contact so far, leaving the room between each other. Very respectful racing there on the exit. Manzanaro doesn't have the best of exit. Ewout van Kruijsen in the purple-blue livery there, trying to get by Carlos Manzanaro on the inside there of Rins. And can he make the move stick on the inside? Can he carry that momentum through? Carlos Manzanaro can as well. It's side by side for a lot of these drivers. Side by side for Bezweyer as well. Side by side for Kostis as well. Manzanaro then getting that position of Ewout van Kruijsen. But this battle isn't over yet because there is Kruijsen on the inside. He's there again, outbraking his rival, needing to keep it clean and clean. They do just about millimeters between them. And this is the battle for P3. See what happens here. On the outside is Stiefelager, on the inside of Ryan Cassidy. And so far, no change for those positions. Side by side action all over the place. Yuri Bezweyer again in lots of battles. This must be such a fun race to battle here at Austria at the Red Bull Ring. Oh, that's a beautiful switchback by Ewout van Kruijsen. Is that Manzanaro going wide? I think it is, getting a bad exit. Yuri Bezweyer can benefit from that bad exit, but he needs to do it all around the outside of Rauch, and that's easier said than done. A little bit of contact between both Spaniards and the Dutchman, and now we have side by side once again. And look, Yuri Bezweyer all around the outside. Well, an amazing move if he can get the exit speed down, and he does seem to do it, but he still has Manzanaro on his tail. You can't really, it's almost impossible to shake down a Porsche after overtaking him. That is Eduard Kropp going off the track after exiting Rins. And see what's happened there. Was that contact or was that a mistake on his own merit? I have no clue whatsoever. But currently, Niels Korge, or Eduard Kropp, I must say, not in a happy place after spinning out Carlos Manzanaro, the Spaniard currently in P9, trying to chase down Yuri Bezweyer. See, I keep saying it wrong sometimes. My brain just does it. I'm so sorry. Replay here. Mitchell Kostis then in the 77. What has happened here? Contact between Roel van der Zand and Mitchell Kostis then And you know, I almost was certain it was, I think, Eduard Krop, but he has the same livery. So, you know, some confusing once again. Montanaro in P9, Yuri Verzwijver in P8. This battle continues to rage on here as we close in on the final 10 minutes of this race. We have pit stop for Kerkman. Kerkman is probably going to DNF after, well, pitting for a reason still unknown to us. And so I'm quite curious why everyone has pitted. Oh well, everyone, Marco Kerkman. And that's definitely a track limit. It must be a track limit for Carlos Montanaro as we go on board with Roel van der Zand. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching the stream and you haven't done already, and you like the content you're seeing, you like the race in the stream you are seeing, please go and sub to our channel, perhaps give a like to our race, to our stream as well. That way we know you are satisfied with the stream quality and everything around it, and having a happy time here at NXTGP iRacing. We're closing into the 150 subs here at NXT. Would be wonderful if we would get that sometime here in the near future, because Stiefelager wants to get that P3 in the near future as soon as possible. Levi van Straten in P2, falling back a little bit because these two guys are closing the gap. Is it Levi van Straten? No, it's not. It's actually Marco Kerkman. I was certain he was going to DNF, Marco Kerkman, but he probably tries to maybe see, you know, let the audience know I am still here. I can still compete with the fastest people around me, even though I am locked down. Lucas Stiefelager in the number 38, Montanaro trying to chase down Roel van der Zand for a promotion up to P9. Van der Wilder, I think, going slowly there. Brian Cassidy in P3 once again. We switch over to the battle for the final podium spots as Alex O'Grady has a 10.711 second gap now. Pulling out of the slipstream, Lucas Stiefelager into the slipstream of Marco Kerkman. Trying it around the outside, needs to put his foot down. Marco Kerkman maybe making the oh! This is Mitchell Kostas in the barrier after spinning off. After getting contact with another car by really no fault of his own. And his race turned from bad to worse here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. And who's going to come out on top then in this beautiful battle for the final podium spots with, well, just about 8 minutes to go here at the Red Bull Ring in the second race of the NXTGP. And why? How come Alex O'Grady is driving in this series? That was a question I got earlier on. Alex O'Grady, a real racing driver, you can see it by his pace up front. Well, perhaps because it's of the beautiful prizes we here have in the Porsche Supercup. Because if you win, if you get that P1, you receive 125 euros you can maybe spend on iRacing, or you're free to spend anywhere else. P2 in the overall standing gets 75 euros to his name, and P3 receives 50 euros. P4 receives 35 euros. It is then P5 who gets a free car on iRacing plus a free entrance in the next season. That's P6 and P7 will both share a free entrance next season. They both get a free entrance for a championship of your choice. And I say next season, not only next season, you can use it in further seasons. I myself have one, and I can use it in further seasons as well. We still, of course, have some more races coming up. We are, from this point onwards, halfway of the championship. We have Spa-Francorchamps on the 22nd of July. We have Hungary on the 29th of July, and Zandvoort on the 26th of August. All Mondays, of course. And Cas Heijnen currently in P6. Trying to fend out Ewout van Kruijsen. As Alex O'Grady gets another fastest lap overall in with a 1:31.311. Surprising given the gap to P1 is, or to P2 is 12.8 seconds. And look, Ewout van Kruijsen all over the back of Cas Heijnen. Cas Heijnen using the track limits to his advantage. For how long can he maintain that? Beautiful aerial shot then from this battle of the Porsches for P6. And if you want, then Cas Heijnen can defend from Ewout van Kruijsen. Ewout van Kruijsen gets that position from Cas Heijnen, promotes himself up to P6 and now chasing down the Spaniard right in front of him. Story I was going to tell you, if you want, you can actually enter a one-off race here, as Lucas Stiefelaar is battling Ryan Cassidy as I'm trying to finish a story. You don't have to enter the full season. I think you might be able to still enter the full season, but that would mean you will you will need to pay the full entry free fee. That's Niels Korga going off the road. Boy, not avoiding the barrier. I was going to say he was going to avoid the barrier, but he isn't. He hasn't done so. Yes, you can get a one-off entry. It's on the website, NXTGP iRacing.com. Fine about that. Marco Gekman. Annoying, these drivers. I mean, if I would be Ryan Cassidy and if I would be Jamie de Koele, I wouldn't want to be facing the wrong way of the track, but he is doing so nonetheless with less than 5 minutes to go. Jamie de Koele DNFs, I think. Ryan Cassidy, does he go for it? He does. Sends one down the inside. He's brave on the brakes, but Lucas Stiefelaar is brave as well. And that is the number 33 behind him, I think. That is then Marco Kerkman indeed, but these drivers go side by side for P3 in this race. Who claims the final podium spot and now goes towards Ryan Cassidy. Levi van Straten going wide, outbraking himself, and that's losing his chances possibly for the last podium spot in round 3. Then Lucas Stiefelaar outbraking himself in Slotskot, and that's a fault of his own. And goodbye, says Ryan Cassidy. And goodbye, says Lucas Stiefelaar to his chances for a top 3 spot, for a P3 position. And Lucas Stiefelaar just entering the gravel there. He's I think, well, he's P4. But maybe be in danger as well. Anyway, Jeroen van der Zand in P9. Jeroen Verzwijren in P8. Jeroen van der Zand is looking for a move, eyeballing the move, currently at the back of Jeroen Verzwijren. But so far he's not attacking. We have 3 minutes to go. We have Mitchell Kostis in pit lane. Why? I don't know. And there's the Jeroen van der Zand in the sort of McLaren Golf livery on the inside of Jeroen Verzwijren for P8 in the overall standings, and gets the move done as well. Jeroen Verzwijren, leading M driver here today. Jeroen van der Zand trying to break the toe, does he? He does break the toe, but Jeroen Verzwijren is alongside it. Nonetheless, wants to get that position, of course, but gets shoved wide by Jeroen van der Zand. The Spaniard trying to battle Ewout van Kruijsen, and that's a bold move there by AGSNM. Elbows out there, as you can see, almost making contact with the Dutch driver, and both battling it out for P5 here in this race. As they really lost touch to Lucas Stiefelaar in P4. on board now. Let's listen to Ewald van Kruijsen, this beautiful Porsche Supercup. What will Ewald van Kruijsen do in these dying moments of the second race here at the Red Bull Ring? Ewald van Kruijsen down towards the inside, alongside the Spaniard, now trying to get the better traction down. As easy as said and done. Of course, the first turn and the second one as well. Well, the second and the third turns, they do have a little bit of camo, which makes traction not so easy. And Ewald van Kruijsen, a little wiggle there on the front, locks up as well. And the Spaniard currently retains that P5, maintains the P5, and this group seems to be stagnating. What Eduard Krop doesn't seem to be stagnating, overtaking Bram Welkom in the green Rexy Porsche on the left. And it's Eduard Krop. Unless he outbreaks himself, winning that position over. And I can see on the Delta on your left hand side, Bram Welkom has that position already again. Ewald van Kruijsen in P6, still battling the Spaniard. And maybe Gus Heine can have something, will have something to say about this. This could also go horribly wrong, so Gus Heine is just grabbing his popcorn out and praying these two drivers collide. Anyway, Ewald van Kruijsen in P6, still trying to chase down Agus NM as we enter the final lap of this race. I'm curious where the leader is. Alex O'Grady finding himself in the lead. 34.5 seconds is the gap, so nowhere, well, a little bit near the start-finish line. He will finish in P1 as the commentator's curse. Hopefully the commentator's curse doesn't befall on him, but this is the battle. This is a crucial battle for P6. And what is the gap between P3 and P2 then? It has remained the same. And that means that Alex O'Grady, after winning the first two races of the season, after being absent from the win in the second round 2 times in Catalonia, he wins for the second time here at Austria and completely dominates round 3 here at the Red Bull Ring here, winning race 2 again, and therefore leading the championship once more, extending his lead in the championship once more like he did in round 1. Ewald van Kruijsen currently in P6, giving it all to overtake the Spaniard around the outside. It would be brave, it would be beautiful, but now he has the inside. Does he have the inside? No, the Spaniard is just in front of him. Look! On the line, on the last corner, absolute drama for Ewald van Kruijsen. Needs to rejoin safely, and he doesn't. And that's a big collision for, oh my god, that's the Spaniard finishing in reverse. I just seen, oh, absolute scenes here at the Red Bull Ring. Yuri Zwijveren is out. What has happened here? A lot of drivers may be running out of fuel. Yuri Zwijveren crashed with Ewald van Kruijsen. Absolute tears for Ewald van Kruijsen. This is Ewald van Kruijsen losing it, not getting a great rejoin. Absolutely. I mean, I must admit the rejoin was terrible. Wanting to go, it's a horrible moment. And that's Yuri Zwijveren and touching the Spaniard as well. Such a shame. But I want to see a replay of Carlos Montanaro. Do we have a replay of Carlos Montanaro just losing it? Yes, but finishing backwards. Look at this, getting touched, putting it in reverse probably, not just in third gear, but he gets a big gun spot as he finishes in reverse. Where do you see this kind of action? Well, not in F1 for sure. You do in the NXTGP Porsche Supercup. What a bad rejoin by... Oh, it's Yuri Zwijveren who disconnects? What has happened there to Yuri Zwijveren? No clue. whatsoever. But Carlos Manzanaro finishing in reverse. I've never seen this in all the races I've driven myself, in all the races I've commentated myself. I've never seen someone finish in reverse. Absolute scene here at the third round here at the Red Bull Ring. It's Alex O'Grady who won Heat 1, who won Heat 2. These are the Heat 1 results. In fact, who of course Alex O'Grady won Heat 1. We will go to the feature race results, and Alex O'Grady almost won that one by 20 seconds. Yet again, Levi van Straten in P2 trails Alex O'Grady by 19.8 seconds, followed by Ryan Cassidy, Lucas Stiefelager, Watford, P4, Egers and then in P5, followed by Cas Heine in P6. P7 goes to Roel. Bram Veldhoen then finishes in P8. Of course, I think he was involved in the rejoin as well. Krop in P9, Vastenhout in P10. Lots of DNFs at the end of the race. Costas in P11. Carlos Manzanaro getting P12 across the line after he reversed and came across the line backwards. Muller in P14, Ewald van Kruijs in P14, Yuri Verzwijder disconnecting meters in front of the finish line. It's Marco Kerkman in P16, Niels Gorge in P17, Jamie Tekule in P18. Then Burg finishes the race in P19 and Kool finishes off the field in P20. The next round, round 4 of this NXTGP Porsche Supercup in this Porsche Supercup will be later today, and we thank our beautiful broadcaster, our team behind the screen, Dennis Wieringa as our broadcaster. Thank you for watching. We will see you at Spa-Francorchamps in one month time at the 22nd of July. Until then, in Belgium.